Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio. Your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, where we are proudly celebrating 4 years of being on the air. So thank you so much for everyone who has been subscribing, following, liking, and commenting. We really do appreciate it. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. I'm the president and founder of USA Global TV and Radio, and today's show is Talking Heads, and I'm our expert presenter for this topic. Our topic today is From Red Ocean Living to Blue Ocean Leadership: Why Most People Follow and Only a few actually create. So this topic is based on a business strategy, and I want to give the people who created the business strategy the credit for it. So I'm pulling up their book. The book is called The Blue Ocean Strategy. So I think it was originally written in 2005, and it's been updated in 2015. And the co-authors, co-developers of the Blue Ocean Strategy are Renee Mauborgne from France and W. Chan Kim from Singapore. So I learned about this myself at the Wharton School of Business, the Chief Strategy Officer program, which I am currently taking. So let's talk a little bit about it. I want you to imagine a blue ocean. I know where I am, there is no blue ocean right now. And of course it's winter, so everything's frozen. But imagine a beautiful blue ocean and you see one boat out in the ocean. And it could be a beautiful yacht, just whatever it is, it's out there all by itself. And so in terms of my understanding of the Blue Ocean Strategy development, it's basically this boat is out there all alone. It's uncontested. It's in territory and waters that no one else has bothered to probe or don't have the idea how to do so. And to me, when I think about it, I think about Apple. They've created a line of products, which many are trying to get into the market and are in the market, but can't duplicate, replicate, outplace Apple. So they're in a blue ocean all by themselves. Now, if you think about a red ocean is full of boats. And they're all different types of boats. They could be rowboats, dinghies, sailboats, yachts, you name it, but it's very crowded. And this ocean is primarily filled with people who are competing against each other on price. And so it's pretty common to think of different companies that compete based on price. It's the lower the price and they work off of volume. So I'm bringing up these two ideas today. Again, I'm not the creator of these, and I just gave credit to those who are, but about a blue ocean mindset as a human being versus a red ocean mindset. So when we think about Apple, we think about the big blue ocean and being the only one out there. That takes courage. That takes strategy. That takes commitment. It takes a lot of things. And as a human being, it takes a commitment to believing in yourself. It takes a commitment to internal validation. It takes a commitment to both personal and professional development. Now, on the other side, the red ocean, where in business, there are tons of businesses in this category. That's where most people are. Most people are in the red ocean of human behavior, meaning, and there's no judgment to this, we're just having a discussion about it. It's about external validation. It's about being in the club. It's about drama. It's about negativity. It's about building fire and flames around things that could be diffused, but we choose to carry on. So whether you're an entrepreneur, a business person, or just a human being who's watching the show today, I thank you for being here. And I ask you to think, are you personally in the blue ocean or are you in the red ocean? And when we think about these different analogies, really, that's what they are. I want you to think about the fact that the core premise of red ocean living and blue ocean leadership is not really about ambition, and it's not really about success. It's about how humans, how we relate to safety, to our own identity, and to uncertainty. And this is why, as leaders, we can feel very lonely before we feel like we're influential. I want you to consider this. Most people are not failing. They may feel like they are, but they're basically competing in a very crowded, emotional, and social marketplace where safety, approval, and predictability are the currency. Very few people are willing and or able to step out of this box or step out of this marketplace because we are always being pulled back to safety and comfort of what we know. So as business leaders, as business owners, we stop competing for space and we start creating direction when we are moving towards the blue ocean. When we're in the red ocean, we're just happy competing. We're just getting by. We're doing tasks. We're telling everyone how busy we are. And we're following someone else's direction. Someone in the blue ocean that created the direction. The difference between the blue ocean and the red ocean is what I call leadership. And we've all worked for, know of people whose leadership really stands out. And of course, we know a ton of people whose leadership doesn't stand out. So I want you to think about the red ocean behavior, whether it's as a human or as a business. It's basically survival. It's basically human survival strategy. And this is not judgmental. For those of you who don't know, I wrote this book, Holy But Harmful, The Silent Sin of Judgment. So I'm not judging you, me, or anyone else. I'm just putting it out there that these are things that we can think of. So red ocean behavior, it's basically human survival strategy. Now, what happens with the red ocean behavior is it can be very adaptive. We can be looking around to see what the other people in the red ocean are doing, and we can copy them. We can say to ourselves, you know what they're doing seems to be working, so I'm going to copy them. But how long can we actually survive with this type of mentality? And this really applies to businesses. Think about businesses that come and go. Think about during the pandemic, businesses that were not able to adapt and the businesses that were. The businesses that were able to adapt were in the blue ocean. Now, that doesn't mean that they're still in the blue ocean. Why? Because circumstances change. The economy changes. The environment changes. The customer need changes. So it's difficult to remain in the blue ocean unless you continuously have a strategy adaptation. So in the Wharton School and the Chief Strategy Officer program, we were recently asked how long our business strategy was. So it used to be when I was in corporate, write a 10-year business plan, write a 5-year business plan. And so each of us gave what our thoughts were. And so to me, in the television industry, it's 6 months because it changes so quickly. And for those of you who might be younger, you may not remember the time when we had rabbit ears on televisions and we had black and white and we had the little knob that you would turn and you might get 2 or 3 stations. And since then, it's incredible with technology, the transformation. So if I were sitting here as the owner of a television network and I told you I had a 10-year strategy, I would ask you to run, because how could I possibly have a 10-year strategy? I have no idea what's coming down the road. And we've been hearing a lot about AI. And then through the Warren program, we also were talking briefly about quantum physics. So there are a number of variables that impact our business and what we're doing. But what I can share with you is that if you are in the red ocean, meaning you're always looking to your competitors and trying to one-up them, even as human beings, you don't have your own identity. You don't have your own platform. You're trying to one-up the people in your life. It's not going to get you very far, because it's very easy for your competitor to then have a new strategy. So I'd like us to consider whether we are leaders in our home or leaders of our business. How can we shift our mindset so that we have a blue ocean strategy mindset as opposed to a red ocean strategy mindset? This is where my 3 questions come into play. And so for those of you who have seen me before on Talking Heads or some of my other programs, I have 3 questions that I ask myself before I speak, before I text, before I email, before I post on social media. 1, is it kind? 2, is it necessary? And 3, is it true? If it's not kind, necessary, and or true, I do not say it, I do not post it. Because what we put out there always comes back to us. I have seen people posting negative things on social media, and the first thing that comes to mind, just because I'm a human being, it's not a judgment, is, oh, that's a negative person. That is a person coming from a place of fear. Now, I don't know this specifically because I don't know the person, but that is my immediate reaction. So when we come from a place of fear, in my opinion, we are in the red ocean, just like everybody else. But when we come from a place of love, we are in the blue ocean. We are about peace. We are about differentiating ourselves as human beings. And as leaders, we can differentiate ourselves so that the people we lead want to follow. We can inspire others in our organization to go into the blue ocean in terms of what they're doing for our organization. Or we can instill fear and keep people back. We can run our organization from the top down, from a mindset of fear where people are literally panicked. They're terrified to come to work. They're terrified to quit. They don't know what to do. Or we can inspire people to grow. We can inspire people to share their feedback. We can inspire people to collaborate. When I first got into the television business, I worked at a station that is no longer in business. And I was told, because I had a radio show, that I had to make a choice. I could either have the radio show or I could work at this television station. And by the way, I paid for both. I paid for spots on both, for the radio station as well as the television station. So I thought long and hard about this, and I thought, why would someone limit me from doing what was bringing me joy? And what I realized was the person was coming from a place of fear. And so I had no judgment about that person. I gave the person grace, but I realized that was not a place that I was going to be able to grow. So I chose to leave. I chose to leave. I would still choose to leave. And today I have my own network, not just one station, but a network. And I encourage my team members to go out on as many platforms as they possibly can where they feel valued and where their content is resonating with others. Why? Because as leaders, we do not own people. We do not control people. We lift people up. We celebrate people. We show them the love as opposed to limiting them to their potential. When we come from a place of limiting beliefs, in my opinion, we are in the red ocean. And leadership in red ocean is not the place that I want to be. I always want to be in the blue ocean. And that's where I want my team to be. And that's where I want you to be. And to me, at the core of it, it comes from a place of emotional intelligence. Believing in yourself, respecting yourself, and loving yourself. And as leaders, when we have these attributes, I truly believe that the people we lead feel it. They experience it. They notice the energy about it. They want to be around it. So, what are some of the things we can do now as leaders if we are in the red ocean? If we are in the red ocean where we are just competing day after day on price, what can we do? Well, we can actually look at a number of things. First of all, what is it that we're offering to our customers, to our clients? Are we offering a myriad of products? What's the return on investment for those products? Maybe we can eliminate some of them. Maybe we can put our core competency, our budget, our time into one of the products or two of the products or whatever it might be. You'd have to do your market research. But think about Apple, for example. And I am an Apple owner. I've got a number of Apple devices. They came up with a concept where all of the devices are interconnected. So you can go from your iPad to your phone, to your computer, to your watch, and all the content is there. The emails, the texts, and then, of course, all of the apps. And so they're all synced together, which is really kind of a cool thing. I know for me, even as a business person, I'm speaking to you from a Mac today. I've got my Apple Watch on. They came up with something, but yet they continue to invest in what it is that they're doing because they're getting the traction. Now, does that mean they will always be in the position that they're in? Who knows? It depends on what market share what their market share is and what they're investing back into their business. So I want you to think about where your business is and how can you separate yourself emotionally from the business. And this is a tough one because as business owners, as leaders, we're very passionate about what we do. And sometimes we're not able to take a step back because we're so engrossed in the day-to-day business. And by the way, we have a comment. No, I am not AI. I am a real person. So thank you for asking. I'm a real person here. Anyway, I want you to think about how can you take the emotional commitment that you have and turn it into finding a solution. To me, that is the answer. Things are not going exactly as we would like. Accept it, honor it, and now what's the solution? What is the path that I need to go on to get out of this red ocean to get into the blue ocean? Sometimes we beat ourselves up. We put ourselves down. Okay, is that really going to help you find the solution? Not really, and it's not healthy because it answers these three questions. Is it kind for us to beat ourselves up? No. Is it necessary? No. And is it true? Probably not. We can take the truth and manipulate it any way we want. But as business owners, if we want to have rose-colored glasses on, or we want to be in a state of denial, it's going to show up and we're going to remain or go into the red ocean. But when we're open to feedback from others, when people want to provide information in a respectful and graceful way, there might be value in that information. The fact that someone's taking the time to share something. So for example, customer reviews, focus groups. I really believe in these things. Now, I understand that bots are getting involved with leaving reviews. I've read a lot about that. But we're talking about one-on-one human interaction. You can always reach out to people that you respect, people who are mentors or people who are where you want to go, and say, hey, would you take a look at this and tell me what you think? And I have found that people who are coming from a place of love as opposed to fear are more than happy to help you out, because someone helps us out. I have probably 6 to 8 mentors at any given time. And I really value the time and energy that they put into sharing with me, because we don't know what we don't know. But if we're not open to it, we're back in that Red Sea. So thinking that we know everything, we're in a tugboat or a rowboat in the Red Sea. I don't know about you. I'm not even a boater, by the way, but I'd rather be on a yacht in the blue sea as opposed to being in a tugboat in the Red Sea. And again, no judgment if you have a tugboat, good for you. Today's point is all about how can we differentiate ourselves as human beings and therefore as leaders. I really value when I meet someone in a business setting and they're the same one in their personal setting. Have you ever met people, they're one way in business and they're another way outside of business? It's almost like they have 2 personalities. I believe we have the same personality because this is who we are. So as someone asked, am I AI? No, I'm not AI. This is me. This is me if you met me at the gym. This is me if you met me in this business or if you met me personally. This is who I am. Now, what I truly believe is that we all are gifted, which AI is not. We are gifted with choice. We as humans can make a choice. We can make a choice of how we spend our time. And as humans, that is also something we have in common. We have time. And so how we spend that time is reflected not only actually in our skin, in our behavior, in our demeanor, in our energy. It comes through. And so if we want to be successful, when we are successful as human beings, I truly believe it comes from a place of love and a place of curiosity and a desire to be a peaceful person. When you make those choices, when you choose peace over drama, in my experience, because I've done this, the stress level goes way down. You innately are able to handle situations that you might not have been able to handle before. And I've shared this before, but for those of you joining for the first time, 2 nights ago, my apartment was flooded right before a major snowstorm hit. And the interesting thing is that my apartment was also flooded last year, almost to the day, by the same apartment upstairs. The difference was last year when my apartment was flooded, someone was living there, and this year no one was living there, and apparently a pipe in the wall was frozen and burst. But I had a choice to make as a leader. The reunion show was yesterday, and so the night before, my apartment is flooded. We had the police department here, we had the fire department here, we had maintenance here, and we had the recon guys here. And so I probably had 20, 25 people who were here in my apartment. And of course, giant industrial fans running. So I had maybe 3 hours of sleep, and I still had to go on the next day for a 6-hour TV show. So as a leader, did I panic? No. Did I look for external validation? No. I said to myself, I will make this work. I will keep the emotions aside, and I will find a way. So today I am broadcasting, coming to you live from my kitchen instead of my studio, because my studio was flooded and it's completely trashed. So I'm here broadcasting. I have industrial fans that are running in the background. I've had to unplug a number of them so that you could hear me, but I found a way to make it work. Am I angry about the flood? I'm not angry about the flood. When you're angry, it just clouds everything. So I want you to think of some of these ideas of how you can move your business, your life, from one of drama, stress, anxiety, and being in the red ocean to one that is filled with love and peace and compassion. I want to thank you for joining me here today on Talking Heads. I hope wherever you are, that you are coming from a place of peace and a place of love. Do join me next week for my next episode of Talking Heads. And please do subscribe to our channels. I'll pull up the graphic. We have 2 YouTube channels, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck and USA Global TV and Radio. And I would really appreciate it if you would go and subscribe to our channels. Thank you very much. And I'd like to just share, I do have 2 books that are really, I would say, my Bible of elevated listening, because I teach people all over the world how to listen. And one of them is Mastering the Power of Elevated Listening, which you can find over on our Amazon page, as well as Holy But Harmful, The Silent Sin of Judgment, How Hidden Judgments Destroy Relationships and Damage Lives. Thank you again for being here today. I really do appreciate it. We're going to go over and see our sponsors, and we'll be back with our next program right after this. Bye.
Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? In a world quick to judge, one book dares to reveal the hidden cost of silence. Discover Holy But Harmful, The Silent Sin of Judgment, How Hidden Judgments Destroy Relationships and Damage Lives by Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. The Amazon #1 bestseller that's transforming the way we understand ourselves and the way we see others. Pick up the companion workbook to uncover your own hidden judgments and learn how to break free from them. Available now on Amazon and at fine bookstores worldwide.
Every woman carries a story of strength, of purpose, of light. Through her courage, the world is transformed. Through her grace, generations are inspired. This is Iconic Women. Within Every Woman Lives a Goddess, a celebration of brilliance, beauty, and empowerment. Join us every Wednesday at 11 a.m. New York, 4 p.m. London time, only here on USA, Global TVR, and Radio. Featuring the iconic Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, honoring voices that shine across the world. Subscribe to our YouTube channels, USA Global TV and Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, to watch and engage with all our content. World-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations. meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.